What's up, guys? You're watching the YotaHoon YouTube channel. I might change that name later. I haven't really decided yet, so I got a couple ideas, but that's what it's going to be for now. So here's a quick picture of my old first-gen Toyota 4Runner I had, and that's where I got the name YotaHoon from. I actually fully built up this thing. I got it bone stock, and kind of a tragedy ended up happening. And while I was moving from North Carolina to Kansas City, I lost control of the Penske, and the 4Runner was sitting on a trailer on the back, and the trailer ended up coming detached, and the 4Runner just rolled down the highway, and it was total loss. I ended up selling it for $400 to cover the cost of the tow truck fees, and that's all I got out of it. I did have my fenders and wheels off of it for moving, so you will see these fenders hanging up on my wall in the garage. So if you wonder where those came from, now you know. I wanted to give you the rundown for my Caprice. This is probably going to be the main build on my channel. A lot going on with it. It's come a long way since I've gotten it, so we'll go ahead and jump into it. So this is a 2012 Chevy Caprice. This particular one was a detective's car out of New Jersey, where the detective actually had a stroke and he ran into a building and it was wrecked, taken out of service. The drivetrain and everything was in good condition. When I got the car, it had 19,000 miles on it. It currently has 44,000 miles on it. First year I had the car, I didn't really do anything to it. I kept it mostly stock. Then once I moved from North Carolina, where I bought it, to Kansas City, where I'm at now, I rear-ended a truck, and totaled it out. Insurance paid what I owed on it. So I ended up buying this car back for $1,700 from the insurance company, and I put about $1,000 in parts. I had to get hood, fender, headlight, core support, airbag sensors, a couple other small things, but it ended up costing me around $1,000 to get it fixed up and running again. So it does have a salvage title now. So once I totaled the car after I got it rebuilt, salvage title now, so I didn't care as much about it, and I started collecting parts to go boost. And probably a year from that point, we're here now. I think I actually wrecked it in October. Yeah, I wrecked it in October, 2 years ago now. So here is the car. Let me get some light. It doesn't really help much. As far as the car goes, body-wise, it's mostly all stock. I got Camaro SS wheels. I got the Camaro SS Brembos on the front. I did not put the rears on because I was thinking at some point I might go to a 15-inch wheel setup. So I still have the rears right here, and they're actually for sale too. I was asking $200 plus shipping if you're interested in them. So we're gonna go ahead and look under the hood, see some of the stuff I've got done to it. So for the turbo kit, I got this turbo in trade. So it probably wouldn't have been my first choice because it's a monster of a turbo and it's a little too big for my setup. But this is a VSR billet 80mm T6 housing, divided 1.32, 3-inch intercooler piping all the way throughout, except for the MAF housing right here. This is a Spectra 4-inch MAF housing. Intercooler down here. So we got a 50mm blow-off valve down here. We got twin 50mm wastegates, so they do a good job of controlling the boost, which is nice. AEM wideband right here. AEM true boost controller. There's a solenoid mounted right there. I need to get these vacuum lines and everything figured out a little bit better. I just kind of threw them on to get it running, and I need to do something better. So I'm still thinking about what I want to do there. For exhaust, I got a 5-inch exhaust coming out of the fender, which, believe it or not, is not as loud as you would think. Like, it's very tolerable inside the car, so that's cool. We got a BTR Stage 2 cam, Stage 2 turbo cam, LS7 lifters, LS9 head gaskets. I got ARP head studs in it, LS2 timing chain, timing tensioner. I have a stock fuel system on it, completely stock fuel system. So it has the flex fuel injectors. We'll see. At some point, I really want to do the DSX auxiliary pump. It's supposed to be good to like 1200 horsepower. This is all on gasoline too, so I'm not going to run the E85 on this probably ever, because the closest E85 pump is like 30 minutes away. So I also have the AEM V2 Methanol Injection Kit. Have the nozzle going in right here into this 90, and I have a air temp breakout sensor right there. We're running a LS7 MAF, so the card style MAF. It's in the Spectra 4-inch housing. So the turbo, I actually had a lot of people tell me that I wasn't going to be able to get this turbo in here because it's a big one and there was not a lot of room. The exhaust, the hot side, I did the hot side all myself. I'll go ahead and throw a couple pictures in right here. So here's a picture of my crossover pipe I made. You can see the passenger side manifold is attached. It's got the stock flange on it. This is a stock manifold from the car too. And at the top of the picture you can see where my first wastegate comes out, right there on that V-band, and then you got the flex pipe that goes over to the driver's side. Right here is the driver's side manifold, and you can see that I have the piece that comes down and connects to my crossover pipe. That uses the V-band too. Super tight with my spark plugs in between these holes, but I was able to get them to work. I got heat shield on all of them and they seem to be doing okay. So here's a shot of that T6 flange divided. Both pipes are divided all the way up to that flange, and you can see where that second wastegate is sitting right below the flange, so it just hangs right below where the turbo mounts, and it's been working okay. You'll see it better in the next picture. So here's where that wastegate actually sits when it's mounted up. It sits right below that flange. I don't have a pipe hooked to it at all, so it's just kind of blowing out the wheel. Well, it's been okay. Hasn't caused no problems yet. And then here's that first wastegate on the crossover pipe. It just dumps out underneath the car. Same thing. It's been working fine. And I did have to relocate the power steering reservoir, and I got this idea from a guy on the New Caprice forum. I have my build on the New Caprice forum actually if you want to go check it out and read a little more detail about what I've done so far. And the website for that is newcaprice.com. You go to the member builds, you'll see this is probably one of the first ones out there because I update a lot. I think it's called like Big Single Turbo Caprice or something like that. You'll see it on there. There's not a whole lot of builds on there. There's only like one page, and this is probably one of the ones on the top 3 or so. So I relocated the power steering over here. Turned out really nice. Like I said, I got that idea from a guy on that page, so not mine, but it worked great and I'm real happy with it. So I got the ZR1 map sensor, so I think that's what, like a 2.5 bar map sensor. So we got the AEM wideband sensor over here. I don't have any of the narrowband sensors on here at all. I'm thinking about putting the first two sensors back in just for fuel correction while I'm cruising around, because I do drive this around a lot on the streets. So I don't know if it'll help. If you guys think it'll help, let me know and I'll do it, because I'm gonna have to pull all this exhaust out soon anyways, and I'll get to that in a little bit and tell you why. And I do actually already have the bungs and everything for them. I still have the sensors, so it would be super easy to add them in if I needed to, or if it would really help me a lot. So okay, we are inside the car now. I want to show you a couple things in here that I've got going on. So I got the AEM air fuel gauge right here, AEM True Boost, and this slot here is actually, I want to do AEM oil pressure, which I'm a day late, $1 short on that, and I think I'm going to do a second video explaining the current running status of the car and also my plans for the future. Right here we have the Methanol light. We do have a spotlight right here. Spotlight works, so that's cool. I don't use it nearly as much as I thought I would. Probably the coolest thing I've done with this spotlight is I like to turn it to where it's pointing almost straight up. There we go, like that. I'll point it straight up like that, and if it's like a foggy night or something, I can drive around and it just looks like a beam pointing straight up. Throws people off, maybe, I don't know. I thought it was funny, so that's probably about the only thing I've done with it. Might upgrade it to LED sometime or something, I don't know. I like keeping it on there though, because I like people knowing that this was at some point an old cop car. So down here I got my methanol tank mounted right there. I need to sturdy it up a little bit. It moves a little. It's only a 1 gallon tank, but I got these steel bars going down and kind of like a L, and they're just mounted to that, and then I have like the little plastic clips, like the little body clips holding it on there, so if I ever have to remove it, it won't be that hard. Let's see if we can get down underneath here. I have the pump mounted down here. So I got the pump right here in the spare tire well. All the lines and everything ran underneath. It's been working out fine. So I've probably gone through 4 tanks so far. So that's where the car is now. One last thing I want to say before I end this video is where the car is at now. I actually spun a rod bearing last week, and it was my own fault. The car was running super rich. It was running into the 9.0 air fuel ratio, and I was working with a tuner doing like an e-tune, emailing back and forth, and I got sidetracked. I had some stuff I had to get fixed, and while I was working on it, I just kept going out making poles, even though it was at a 9.0 air fuel ratio, and I think I ended up washing the cylinders, and I had fuel in my oil, and I spun a rod bearing. That's where we're at now. So I'm gonna go into the details of that and go into the details of what I plan to do with the car now that I have a spun rod bearing. I'm gonna try to do that in the next video, so I don't make this first. This is like my first real video, so I don't want to make this too long. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're here from the Caprice page or the Caprice Facebook page, leave me a comment and like tell me what you think. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, because like this is all new to me, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So please like tell me. I'll take your criticism. Like I need it. And yep, that's it. So watch for the next video in probably like a week or so. I'll be talking about the engine and what I'm going to do with it, and my plans for a fuel system. I got a little bit going on. I got some parts ordered. I have some parts bought already for the engine. So there's a lot going on. Hoping to do a lot with this car. So thanks. Have a good one. So once again, thanks for watching. I apologize for the dark lighting throughout the video and everything. This is the first video I've made, so hopefully I'll learn as I go. And I really look forward to recording everything as I build this car up, and hopefully someday get into the 10s. I think it's real capable of doing it once I get everything figured out. But thanks again. I really appreciate you watching, and have a good one.